Right, here we are in the third video of lesson 12, and we have a little puzzle on the board. A number divided by 60 has a quotient of 3 and a remainder of 12. So a little bit of puzzle and a little bit of vocabulary, right? You see here the word quotient, okay? Quotient. Don't let it scare you. It's the answer to a division problem, right? Product is what we get when we multiply. Quotient is what we get when we divide. And a number divided by 60. So this is what we don't know, right? This is the unknown. We could call it x, the unknown. A number divided by 60. So x divided by 60 has a quotient of 3. Okay, so we know the quotient is 3 and a remainder of 12. What is the number? Okay, so think about that for a few minutes. How can you figure out what x is, or it could be question mark, or any letter there could represent our unknown. How can we figure out what it would be? Think about the expression that we were writing to check our work on the last problem. Think about how multiplication and division are opposites, right? How about 3 times 60 plus 12, right? Because we have a remainder of 12. All right, 3 times 6 is 18. And bring the 0 over, so that's 180 plus 12, 192. All right, you see how to do that? Awesome. All right, so now we're going to be on page 9 in your book. So if you don't have your book out yet, you should be writing your notes in there. Sorry, did I say page 9? I'm in page 99. Number 1, and it looks just like this. Tyler wants to donate boxes of crayons to kindergarten classes. Oh, how nice of Tyler. He has 347 boxes. He donates sets of 40 boxes to as many classes as he can. How many boxes remain? Okay, so let's make sure we understand the problem. He's donating boxes of crayons, right? And he has 347 boxes. He's donating sets of 40 boxes. So what would our math problem here be? Let's see. We have 347 boxes. There's our tape diagram, right? All together, 347 boxes. And he's donating them in groups of 40 boxes. So each class is getting 40 boxes. That's really nice. And we don't know how many groups of 40. So that would be our ... Our unknown is how many groups of 40 we're going to get there, right? Okay. So there's what our problem looks like. We can also do the vertical form or the standard algorithm. 347 is what we're dividing up, and we're dividing it in groups of 40. Okay, so it's always good to do an estimate too, and a lot of times when we do our estimate, we write it out like this: 347 divided by 40. So now we're thinking about our 4s. I'm going to draw a little estimate sign there. Okay, so we're thinking about our 4s. 4 times something is close to 34. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 9 is 36. We saw in our last problem it's better to go under, right? So let's do 32, 320 divided by 40, right? And then 32 divided by 4 is 8, and we got rid of the zeros. So it looks like, even though there's 347 boxes, it looks like it's going to be pretty close to 8 classes, because there's 8 40s in 320, right? Okay. So let's see how that works out. Let's just put our 8 here, right? Because that's our closest estimate. It's going to help us know if our answer is correct, but it's also going to help us get started on our problem. So we know that 8 times 40 is 320. We don't need to do that again. We already did it right up there. Okay. Now, as long as our answer here from our subtraction is less than 40, then we're good. If it's more than 40, we know we could have given one more group of 40 to a class, right? So let's subtract 27. Okay, good. So how many boxes remain? 27 boxes remain. A lot of times in division problems, they're not going to ask you how many classes he gets to donate to. Sometimes they're going to ask you how many remain. Okay, so we're going to write that in a sentence. We're going to write, there are 27 boxes remaining. Maybe he wants to give those to a pre-K or somebody like that. Okay. Think about the divisors that we looked at today. The divisors, the numbers that are doing the division, right? And you see that they're all multiples of 10, right? And when we have a divisor that's a multiple of 10, it's really helpful because we can use mental math and we can think about where we're going to start with our dividing. We can come up with an estimate and go from there. Does a divisor have to be a multiple of 10? No, it's not a requirement. How can we estimate if our divisor is not a multiple of 10? Well, we could change our estimate to a multiple of 10, right? We didn't have to change our 40 because it was already 40, but we can always change it if we need to. Okay. Is it helpful to estimate a quotient before you divide? Especially in division, right? It really helps you because that's going to be your answer and that can be your starting point for your division, right? Okay. Why do we need to record our work in vertical form? Just like standard algorithm of multiplication, vertical form is a little more efficient. And so we're working on doing our math quickly and efficiently and using less energy, right? So we can see that we have our quotient, our remainder, and our whole problem right here in one quick part. Okay, so we have all that written down on page 99 for lesson 12. And if you go to page 101, I thought it might be good just to do the first problem in your must-dos. Okay, so please go to page 101 for lesson 12. Hopefully mine will pop up here. There we go. All right. Complete the tape diagram, then complete the vertical form, and check your work. All right, so we have a couple of different pieces here and a lot of different tools for me to use, don't we? Okay, so 80 divided by 20. 80 is our dividend, right? And we're dividing it by 20. So for our tape diagram, we're going to want to draw it in there. Now, do we know how many 20s fit into 80? You might. So you could say 2 times 4, 20 times 4 is 80. So you could fill it in right there. Okay. You could also go straight to your vertical form and do the vertical form first and then do the tape diagram if you wanted. 80 divided by 2. All right. So I'm thinking about 4 because 2 times 4 is 8. So 40 times 20 is 80. And when I subtract, I have nothing left over, right? And if I'm going to check my work, I'm going to multiply. What am I going to multiply? I'm going to multiply my quotient times my divisor, and it's going to equal my dividend, right? So 80 divided by 20 is 4, and then 4 times 20 is 80. See how that works? Fact family, right? Fact family, fact family. Okay, so that's getting you a good start on your must-dos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Aloha.